McCarthy.
Gentleman from California is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and to the committee, thank you for your work, and especially to Chairman Hall for his tenure on the committee and his history-making here in Congress. I thank you. Mr. Speaker, I rise today in support of H.R. 6612 to honor two great pioneers in American aeronautics and space exploration, Dr. Hugh Dryden and astronaut Neil Armstrong. Some of us here today can remember the pride every American felt in the summer of '69 when we heard Neil Armstrong utter those famous words, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind," when he led the Apollo 11 mission and landed on the moon. But this incredible trip, Armstrong served as a test pilot for 7 years at what is presently called the NASA Dryden Flight Research Center in Kern County, California, which I'm proud to represent. Armstrong accumulated 2,400 hours of flying as a test pilot, there mainly in experimental jets. He was also part of the team in the early 1960s who researched how to land on the moon using the Lunar Landing Research Vehicle. After the success of Apollo 11, Armstrong became NASA's Deputy Associate Administrator for Aeronautics. Under Armstrong's leadership, the center had one of its most far-reaching technological breakthroughs in a concept called digital fly-by-wire, the precursor to computerized flight control system used on nearly all military and civilian high-performance aircraft, including the space shuttles. At NASA's Dryden's 50th anniversary, Armstrong said in his speech, "Many years here were wonderful years. Dryden was a most unusual place. Its enormous curiosity, wonderful intensity, and its unbelievable willingness to attempt the impossible here." H.R. 6612 would rename the center in his honor, the Neil A. Armstrong Flight Research Center. The bill would also honor Dr. Hugh Dryden's contribution to aerospace engineering, some that made Neil Armstrong achievements possible. Dr. Dryden was an early pioneer in aerodynamics and helped with many scientific breakthroughs, including the X-15 aircraft that launched some test pilots to career as astronauts, including Neil Armstrong's. Dr. Dryden was chosen to be NASA's first deputy administrator in 1958, placing him in charge of the programs that allowed the agency to send those 3 brave men to the moon in 1969. Dr. Dryden passed away in 1965, just a few years before his work was fulfilled and Armstrong took that first small step. H.R. 6612 will memorialize both men by redesignating the Dryden Flight Research Center as Neil A. Armstrong Flight Research Center and the Western Aeronautic Test Range as the U. L. Dryden Aeronautic Test Range. Edwards Air Force Base, Naval Air Weapons Station, China Lake, and NASA Flight Research Center in East Kern County remain a hub of scientific discovery, aeronautic innovation, and space exploration. I look forward to many more groundbreaking achievements from the men and women inspired by the legacy of Neil Armstrong and Hugh Dryden. Madam Speaker, I ask unanimous consent that the following letters of support for my bill be inserted into the record.
Without objection.
Mr. Speaker, I urge my colleagues to join me in supporting this bill. I yield back the balance.